All right, welcome in. It is Thursday. It is time for Total Bases. You can see my bed. That was not my bed. I was in the other one because I'm in a double room on my way back to New York. That is so, Brian, I did not make that bed. I know you said, what do you, come on, Trig. Like that is like the nicest thing about staying in a hotel room is someone else makes the bed for you, but that is the untouched second bed right there. So I had to, I just had to make sure I didn't, waste time that I could have been handicapping these games and making that bed. But I am on my way back to New York. I'm going to catch some minor league baseball on the way. But first, we're going to break down the majors. And I'll go to you, Brian. Let's start with, we're going to talk a doubleheader here. Giants, Phillies. It was our feature game yesterday. That game never happened. Of course, Logan Webb, Christopher Sanchez. It looks like that's going to be game one. And then we've got what I think is going to be Andrew Painter against Adrian Hauser in game two. So let's go to you. Anything you've got from Giants, Phillies in the doubleheader, game one or two, and then we'll go to Tokyo Brandon.
Well, I'm looking at the OzLogic page, which is our line service, and it is saying that Webb and Sanchez are going to go at 9:35 a.m. Pacific, but it's only got two places with lines up right now. And the other one is a later game, and they got lines everywhere. So I don't know what to make of it. I will say the lines that are up right now in San Francisco, Philadelphia with Webb and Sanchez, since that game was supposed to be played yesterday, we're looking at the only two totals I'm seeing is 7.5, or is Hauser and Painter is also listed at 7. Why is Hauser Painter lower than Webb and Sanchez if these are correct numbers? Webb and Sanchez are better pitchers than Hauser and Painter. So if that Hauser Painter is really at 7, then that's got to be an overplay. That's all I have to say about it. I'm assuming there's a mistake somewhere here, but if it's Hauser and Painter, if you could get a 7, that's going to be an overplay for me. Although, if it is the second game of the doubleheader, you don't know who's going to be used. So at this point, I'm completely confused about this whole thing.
Tokyo Brandon, what I can tell you is the added players. So the 27th man. The Giants are going to bring up a reliever from Sacramento who's been one of their better relief pitchers at AAA level this year. I have not seen who the Phillies, I don't think they've announced who they're going to add to the roster for this game. So we'll go to you. We do sort of know that the matchups are going to be Webb, Sanchez early, Painter, Hauser late. So anything in game one or game two in Phillies Giants for you?
Yeah, you guys know how I feel about X factors. I don't like them very much, especially when we're trying to predict the future, which is basically what sports betting is predicting the future. Don't know a lot about the second game, especially who's going to be playing in it. So I certainly don't want to bet it. But I do know a lot about Logan Webb and Christopher Sanchez. And we know a lot about these two teams who's probably going to be starting in game one. Neither team is actually hitting the ball very well. They're both kind of toiling in mediocrity, as I like to say. San Francisco's bullpen is pitching much better. On my rankings, I have Christopher Sanchez ranked higher than Logan Webb, but on the one-to-one, can you guys hear me? Is it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yep. On the one-to-one matchups, though, Webb dominates these batters a lot better than Sanchez does. So kind of conflicted on how to play this one. If anything, I think I would look at an under in this one just because the teams are underperforming, the lineups are underperforming, and the pitcher matchups look pretty good. Bullpen is a little shaky on Philly's side, but if anything, I'd go under, but I haven't bet it yet.
So, of course, if you watched the show yesterday, you will know that I liked the Phillies in this original matchup, Webb versus Sanchez. It was my parlay leg. If you're a client of mine, I played it. I gave it out. It was a 3% play for me. It got rained out. So what I will, and rightfully so, I'll probably get the DM the question numerous times throughout the morning asking, are you playing the Phillies again today? Right? Of course, same matchup comes at, the next day. A lot of people are like, well, why would you just not play the Phillies. You were going to play them yesterday. Why would you not play them today? It's a different game. So a couple of things. One, I got to see once this is widely available, am I going to get the same number? Yesterday, I was able to get it down to minus 140. I have a feeling this might, it did start to go up a little bit. So if I'm suddenly getting 10 cents worse, I'd probably be less inclined to play it. From a situational standpoint, the guy that's being called up for the Giants is Gregory Santos. He's been very, very good at AAA out of the bullpen. Like you guys both mentioned, Giants bullpen now just had an extra day of rest. So they're going to have everyone available, right? So the way I'm going to approach this is likely, I actually think this sets up better for the Phillies in game 2. Adrian Hauser is probably going to be on his way back to AAA. He has been as bad as any starting pitcher in Major League Baseball to this point this year. Pitching run value is like the bottom 2%. I had a 4% play against him his last time out. He faced the Marlins. He had no chance, was out of that game early. He's just, remember, this is a guy that last year started the year in AAA, got hot, was able to parlay that into an opportunity with the White Sox, was able to parlay that into getting traded to the Rays. And as soon as he ended up in Tampa Bay and the innings started to pile up, the result, he started to sort of decline. I couldn't understand why the Giants, with all the pitching in their organization, Carson Whisenhunt, Carson Seymour, they've got some good arms in that organization. Why Hauser was in the starting rotation to start the season, I think he's probably on his way out. I don't think we're going to have many opportunities to bet against him the rest of the way. And so what I'm hoping for, Brian, give me like a Giants win in that first game where they burn through some of their better bullpen arms. Because I mean, Andrew Painter's a big edge over Hauser. And if you've got the bullpen on your side and you get a similar price, like let's say we get 140 or minus 145 in the second game, that's how I would go in this series.
I will say both bullpens, obviously, with the day off, really helps them. So if there is a good day to have a doubleheader, this is the best day because both bullpens are fully rested, which comes into totals as the game goes on. So, I'm not as down on Hauser as you are. There's plenty of other players that should have lost their job. Once again, Brian Bale proved once again that he needs to go down the minors and try to figure something out because he got bombed yesterday. And but this is a tough series for me. As we pointed out yesterday, I like Philadelphia also in that game at 140 or less. I didn't see the 140. If we get anything less than 140 in the first game, and those are the pitchers that we had yesterday, that's the side I prefer is the Philadelphia side. If I get that 140, but at this point in the morning, the lines aren't out there for us to talk about, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, no question about it. I'll be looking for a spot to play the Phillies today. I just haven't figured out if it's game 1, game 2, not at all, but it would be Phillies or pass in the doubleheader for me. All right, Toki, Brandon, back to you. Let's go doubleheader number 2. A lot of rain. I was driving up through. I got my buddy Aaron Kidd runs it, doesn't own it. He runs a car dealership in Virginia. So I let my lease run out. I had to get a new car. It was ready. So I'm driving from Virginia back up to central New York yesterday. And I was driving through the rain that washed all of these games out. It was aggressive. So it looks like it's going to hold off today. Baltimore is not far from where I was. They will now go doubleheader with the Astros. So Tokyo Brandon, Astros, Orioles to you. Either game, how are you? Do you have a way into this doubleheader?
Yeah. Everyone remember there's a double. Speaking of doubleheader, there's double plays going on. You can take 2 of us, 3 of the best baseball handicappers on earth, and take 2 of us for 3 days. It's a great discounted package. So go to WagerTalk.com and check that deal out. It's a huge discount for 2 of the 3 of us. Game 1. Yeah, McCullers and Bassett, 2 guys who I don't really have a lot of confidence in. McCuller is definitely one guy who has been on my chronic walker list. He walks a lot of guys. and he's got a 6+ ERA with a 1.5 whip. Can't like that at all. He has actually decent numbers against the batters he's facing today. And Bassett does not. Actually, he's got an 899 OPS and a 288 average against these guys in 125 at bats. And that's when he was a better pitcher than he is this season. So I certainly expect the Astros to be able to score a lot in game one. I'm not going to talk about game two, but game one, I certainly would expect an over here. Especially with the Astros bullpen. I got them ranked dead last in MLB right now. I got the Orioles mediocre right at 15. Orioles hitting a little bit better than the Astros, but both of them are average or better. So given the starting pitcher struggles and one poor bullpen and the fact that both lineups are hitting over average, I certainly would expect an over in game one.
Brian, this is one where I've had a hard time figuring out who's pitching in what game. Sites have all sorts of things listed. I'm just going to use DraftKings because they do list the pitchers on their games. They say it's going to be Lambert against Bassett in game one and McCullers against Brandon Young in game two. But again, I don't think any of that's really been confirmed yet. I do think Brandon Young is going to pitch game two. So I think you are going to see Bassett game one for the Orioles, Young game two for the Orioles. I haven't seen the Astros come out and say exactly what they're doing with their pitching. So do you know there, and is there a scenario that you want to target if it were to pop up?
Yeah, according to our line service oddslogic.com, that's the way they have them drawn up, Lambert and Bassett. And McCullers and Young, both games, basically the home favorite is about a 125 with a total of 9. Now, they're all right-handed pitchers, and both teams hit better against righties so far this season when you look at WRC+. And you're getting 4 pitchers who, in reality, are they major league pitchers? Or should they be in a rotation? Lambert's young. He's a younger guy. He looked pretty good his first time out. Going against Bassett, who's always been like a number 4 or 5 starter. And McCullers is good when he's healthy, but who knows when he's healthy? He's very inconsistent. TC talks about the X factors. There's a lot of X factors in this series, and Young is a guy who's a fringe pitcher also. So if it was anything to me, I would look for runs to be scored. But the totals are 9, which doesn't give you much of a value on playing it over. So I prefer the offenses to the pitching in this game, these 2 games, but it's early in the morning, and without knowing who's going to play in whichever game, I'm unfortunately going to have to pass this early in the morning.
I'm going to take a stand here, Brian. There is a major league pitcher in this, a legit starting pitcher in this series, and it's Brandon Young.
Agreed.
Brandon Young, this is not like a guy that's just getting called up. He's 27 years old, and he's had to fail a couple times, go back, work on some things, remake himself. This is not his first sort of go around. I've watched him extensively at AAA over the years and this year, and he is absolutely, in my opinion, ready to now be a big league starter. I thought he was last year, and the thing that happened with him last year was the Orioles had so many pitching sort of injuries and stuff like that. The team was struggling. If you remember, the Orioles couldn't have got off to a worse start last year. Those first couple months were just so dreadful for them that he kind of just got thrown in there, maybe into situations that weren't super favorable for him. Whereas this year he got to start at AAA, and this call up, in my opinion, is well deserved. This wasn't like a rushed thing. He was dominant in his first few AAA starts. He's been great since being called up so far. He's only had 2 starts at the big league level, but 1.13 whip in those starts. Expected ERA 3.26. Pitch mix is good. Location is good. Doesn't really walk anyone. Keeps the ball on the ground. It's a lot to like about Brandon Young. and he's been doing it long enough now where I think that he's probably, is he an ace? No. Is he someone that can like stick around in this rotation and continue to, to compete? Yes. So I like Brandon Young, and that's who I'm going to target if the spot sets up here. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I will say when I take a look at my quality start numbers, Brandon Young's got a 38% chance of having a quality start. The other three guys are 10% or less. So yeah, out of the four, he is the one that should put out the better game. But I don't know if I've seen him enough to trust him at this point.
Yeah, and this is one. Listen, you got two. Tokyo Brandon has made the point a couple times this year. That the Orioles bullpen they've looked really good. Like I mean, that was a team that on paper I didn't think they had a great bullpen coming into the season. But if you've watched them, they've had guys step up. It's starting to take shape. I don't think people had Anthony Nunez as a guy that was going to like sort of slot his way into a leverage role, and he has. So what I'll also have an eye on, who do they call up? Who's the 27th man in both of these scenarios? And then what's the usage in the game one? Because neither of these bullpens are like super deep with leverage guys. That's, I would say, the knock on both bullpens is they aren't just like flush with like big time leverage relievers. Someone could get exposed in the second game based on the usage in game one. So those are stuff to consider. David, I think Lance McCullers is starting game two. I think it's going to be Peter Lambert in game one for the Astros. I think it's going to be McCullers against Young in game two. So do what you will with that. He's saying Peter Lambert's game two. Listen, you give me Brandon Young versus Peter Lambert. That's probably on the client card, depending on how things shake out. Because I'd rather go against Lambert than McCullers at this point. All right, Tokyo Brandon, to you. G. Hurt asks, is there any reason not to smash the Nationals today? The Mets, they got off of the schneid, if you will, on Thursday. Chris Berman reference right there. On Tuesday, with an 8-0 win over the Nats. Yesterday, it was back to the woe is me Mets. 14-2 loss at home. Just, we said we'd bring them up at some point. They're 10-20, Tokyo Brandon. Are you with G. Hurt? Are you trying to go against the Mets in this game?
Are you kidding me? You seriously going to put money on Miles Mikolas with an 8+ ERA and a 1.84 WHIP? You serious?
I was waiting for that from you.
Are you
ahead.
serious?
So what do you do?
He sucked in Japan. He's even worse in MLB. My goodness. How could you put money on that man? Look, the Mets bats are cold. I agree, but their bullpen is dealing. I got them ranked 9 out of 30 teams, and I like Peralta. And I like his numbers against this team. Actually, his numbers against this team are weird because he has a high ERA and a low OPS, which tells me that he's not giving doubles. He's not giving a lot of singles, but he is giving home runs against these guys. But I'll take anything over Miles Mikolas. I'll take a tortoise over Miles Mikolas. I mean, dang, man, that guy's bad. Could be the worst starter in all of Major League Baseball. I challenge you to find someone who's pitching worse than Miles Mikolas right now. If anyone's going to wake these Mets bats up, see, the problem with the Mets is their bats are cold. But I mean, they're a better team than the Nationals. And Nationals, I got them betting 18, and I got the Mets batting 24. But if anything's going to wake up your bats, I mean, a Miles Mikolas alarm clock will wake your bats up, I think. So I would take the Mets here. I haven't pulled the trigger on it, but if anything, there's no way I would put money on Miles Mikolas right now. That guy's getting clubbed like a baby seal.
Tough thing for me with I don't disagree with anything you just said, but the thing that makes it hard for me is, like, Brian, I feel like the Nats every single game are priced as if they have a terrible pitcher on the mound. So it's almost like, is it fair to say that like all of that is baked in here? Like the Nats every game, like they're going to get priced as they have no pitching. but it's the offense that can be very dangerous, as we saw last night.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one as well. I don't like to bet on Nicholas, and I don't want any part of this Washington bullpen. So you would think Milwaukee would be able to score some runs, although the Milwaukee offense has been slumping as well. There's no way I'm laying $2 on anybody right now in this contest, especially Milwaukee, the team is also struggling. So I don't like Nicholas at all, but if you take a look at his overall power rating from a pitching standpoint, he's at 202. Zach Littell's at 203. Those are the guys that you want to attack in this Washington pitching staff, because Cavalli is, after his first couple of starts, he's looked like a major league pitcher again. He's got some control. He's not walking the batters. Jake Irvin is Jake Irvin. Foster Griffin is a guy that I guess I have more confidence in him than anybody on this team. But we're looking at a total here. If I get back to that sheet, as I got so many open here, is it sitting at 8.5? Is it sitting at 8, slightly to the under? There's a couple of 7.5s out there. If I'm playing, I know the wind's blowing in this stadium. This is a really good pitcher's park, but there's got to be a way for, let's look at the team totals here for the Mets. We're looking at 4.5, slightly to the under. Do you really think the Mets are going to score 5 runs? Yes, they are playing Washington with a terrible pitching staff, but there's got to be better games to pick on this card. And I haven't been involved in anything yet. I'm hoping to find something for the parlay. It's just one of those days that I'm not finding anything jumping out at me.
David, I love this. You kind of made the point I was going to just make right here. He says, Miles Nicholas. It's a really good point. Let me finish. It's a great point. Nicholas is only going about 3 innings per start, right? 3 to 4 innings per start. If you look at this year, all of the damage for him came against the Dodgers and the Cubs the first 2 starts of the season. He gave up 11 runs against the Dodgers, and he gave up 4 earned runs, 6 runs, 4 earned against the Cubs. Those are 2 of the best offenses in Major League Baseball. Dodgers and Cubs, 2 of the best teams, 2 of the best offenses. They're not letting Nicholas go deep. This isn't like 3-4 years ago when the Cardinals were basically asking him to go out and throw 6 innings a game. They'll let him go if he's, they're going to let him go if he's pitching okay. But this is not a scenario where it's like they're trying to get deep, super deep into games with him. The last 4 times he's taken the mound, he's only gone, 3 innings, 2 runs against the Cardinals. 3.1, 3 1/3, 3 runs against the Pirates. 4 innings, no runs against the Giants. 3.2 inning, 3 2/3, 2 runs against the White Sox. If that's how they're going to treat it, yeah, you're still going to have to, sir. You're going to have to, you still have the Nationals bullpen that I think we can all agree, is not great. But they also haven't used anyone. The Nats, both games of this series so far have been complete blowouts. So it's not like they've used the guys that they would use in a tight game. Nats plus 1.5 makes a lot of sense here to me. I don't know if I don't have the guts to do it, but Nationals plus 1.5. I could see the appeal to that bet. I'll just leave it at that. I can see the appeal to that bet. And like you were saying, go ahead.
I will say the numbers you used, the only one that was good was San Francisco, 4 innings, no earned runs. The other ones, he's going 2 innings or 3 innings, but he's still giving up 2 runs or more. I don't want any part of this Washington pitching staff. One piece of shit for another. I mean, whoever's out there, regardless if it's a starter, none of them are very good. They've got major problems from the pitching standpoint.
No, you're. I can't disagree with that, but we're talking about the Mets as a $2 favorite here.
Yeah, you're right. The thing. Is there a lesser of 2 evils here, though? I can't bring myself to play either.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think when you look at, I definitely think that's a fair way to look at it. It's like, who do you want? Do you want the Nationals and whatever you're going to get out of them from a pitching standpoint, or do you want the Mets at that price? As TB has said, the offense is so sporadic. Outside of like that one outburst the other day, they have not hit at all. It is it's an interesting game, and on a shorter slate, had to sort of people want to talk about that one. So that was a good conversation right there. All right, let's go to this one. Noah Jones, good point right here. My Pittsburgh Pirates have started to scuffle a little bit. That hot start, and this looked like a pretty winnable series for them. At home against the Cardinals, they have not played well. They've fallen. I still think they're above 500. I believe they're still a game above 500. So overall, they're still performing well relative to what people thought they were going to do so far this year. But they're a big favorite today, Tokyo Brandon, with Paul Skeens on the mound. Rightfully so, but he has not fared well against the Cardinals. Pirates, Cardinals to you. How are you getting into this one? And anything prop-wise with Skeens?
By the way, congrats to Adam on winning his 5% in the KBO tonight. I went 2 for 2 yesterday, and I have 3 MLB bets up today, packaged for $19. And all of us have a 6 days for the price of 3 deal. That's good. I think today's the last day for that deal. So if you're interested in any of us singly, you can get 6 days for the price of 3. And if you'd like to take 2 of the 3 of us, you can get a double play package as well, hugely discounted. Or as Donald Trump would say, hugely discounted. So let's get on to this game. Skeens and St. Louis. Dobbins. Yeah, Dobbins has good numbers. Kind of an X factor for me, though, because I don't have enough on him. But St. Louis is hitting the ball quite well, actually. A lot of us pegged them to be the worst team in MLB when the season started. They're hitting quite well, surprisingly. Their bullpen is not performing very well. Pittsburgh's bullpen is starting to sag a little bit, but Skeens is just elite talent. His numbers against these batters are elite as well. So whenever I have strength against strength, usually that leads to an under. So if anything, I would take a Cardinals team total under here. If it's 3.5, I'd say under on that. Pittsburgh's bullpen has been sagging a little bit, but Skeens is probably good to go 7 innings here, I would imagine. And so you only have to worry about the bullpen for 2 innings. I would take a St. Louis team total under, or even a first 5 inning under 1.5, but under 1.5s are very risky propositions in MLB. You can say, oh, so-and-so sucks, but these guys are the best in the world. So even suck is much better than another league. If they went to the KBO, they'd be dominating. So 1.5 is a risky proposition, but I don't know, 3.5 team total under for the Cardinals would probably be a decent bet here.
Yeah, Skeens, Brian, it's a little deceiving because I don't think he's had some bad luck against the Cardinals. There's been some games where he's left like down 1-0 and ended up losing and stuff like that. So I don't put as much stock into that. The Pirates have lost 4 straight, and they're starting to maybe show some of the, I guess, not a great defensive team, can be a little inconsistent at the plate. That's what I've kind of been seeing around, with the Pirates the last couple of days. Their bullpen blew one that they really should have won on Monday, which I think has started to snowball a little bit. But I wouldn't lay, I can't lay this number with the Pirates, but the matchup, I do sort of lean to the Pirates winning this game. So is there any way in here for you in this one?
Well, Hunter Dobbins came over in the Sonny Gray trade. He came over from Boston. People wanted him. They wanted him, and they also wanted the other pitcher that came over that just got hurt, Fitz. He'll be out for the season. So I thought St. Louis did pretty well in that trade from the future, and Sonny Gray has not pitched that well for Boston, and right now been injured a little bit lately. But I like Dobbins, and you've got a Pittsburgh team who is not hitting well right now. They are struggling in that regard. So there may be some value here on St. Louis. The problem is because of Pittsburgh's been pretty good at limiting the number of pitches for Skeens this year. But I think if they're after losing 4 straight games, they may let him loose in this game, let him throw 100 pitches, which means less of the Pittsburgh bullpen. You did have your supposed closers pitched 2 out of the last 3 days for Pittsburgh. I don't think there's anybody on this team right now that you can comfortably say that you trust them in the 9th inning. Montgomery may end up being the closer for them as the season goes on. I like his stuff. But St. Louis is a team that's a dangerous dog. As TB pointed out earlier in the season, nobody wanted them. I was one of the few that liked St. Louis, and they're not overly impressive on a day-to-day basis. But right now, based on the way these teams are playing, catching something like 190 with St. Louis may be something I'm interested in. We will see. The total on the game is 7.5, so they're not expecting many runs here. But we'll have to see. This is a hard card for me, but one of the few dogs I think has a little bit of value, maybe St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Dobbins does here. Like, I've caught a good amount of his last couple starts at Memphis. He's been at Memphis the whole season to this point, so he's getting called up for the first time. All 5 of his starts in 2026 were for AAA Memphis. He hasn't gotten crushed in a single game, but it's like every game there's been traffic on the bases. He's given up a little bit over a hit an inning. He's slightly under a strikeout per inning. What I have to compare that to was his time at Worcester last year, where I felt like he was a little bit more dominant in the minors than he's been so far this year. Of course, new pitching coach, new organization. I'll need to see him throw it well at the big league level. Again, I can't lay this price with the Pirates, but it does feel like a spot where Skeens pitches well and they find a way to win. So Tokyo Brandon, do you have a price on Skeens to record a win here? I don't hate that in this one, depending on the price.
I do not have that price right now.
But just go off the top of your head, what do you think it would be?
I think it would be about 1 plus 110 probably is what I imagine. Usually when you get a dominant starter against the team he should beat, that's about the line you're going to get usually. So we can ask our chat to look it up because I can't look it up right now, but I imagine it's 110.
My numbers are saying the Skeens has a 42% chance of getting the victory. So you'd probably need about a 120, 125 plus to make it worthwhile. Other than him, the next highest to get a victory is Springs at 40% and Woodruff at 39. There's a lot of bullpens that are going to come into effect on these games here today because we don't have aces on the mound for the most part. So you should be getting some pretty good numbers if you're looking to play anybody to get an actual victory today.
Someone in the chat is saying Skeens is minus 115. I would not take that.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I
would not take that. But you know what? If you want to take a pitcher to get a win and get a real good plus money price, take Young.
Yeah, I guess I mean, listen, I thought it would have been higher. I thought Skeens to record a win would have been more like minus 125 in this scenario. Just, based on where the Pirates are priced in this game, like well over $2. I'm assuming they're still over $2 by quite a bit.
$2.
Can I just give a little quick? Let me just give a little bit of quick betting advice. Don't ever take minus money to record a win. So many things have to line up.
Yeah.
The stars have to align for a pitcher to get a win. It seems easy, but he has to go 5 innings. You have to be winning after 5 innings, and your bullpen has to hold the lead for you. 3 things have to happen to record a win. It is not worth minus money. Yes, he's probably going to get the win, but don't take minus money ever to get the win. It should be at least plus 120 or more. That's just my betting advice. And Brian seems to agree.
Yep. I agree.
That's a good point. All right, let's start trying to figure out how we're going to build out this parlay. Yesterday we fell short. Listen, I saw the people coming for you in the chat, TV. I thought the Dodgers were like a really good, hey, it didn't work out, but to Brian's point and the point we all made, they were over a $3 favorite the day before. like they were a $2 favorite in a matchup that wasn't much worse. It didn't work out. It is what it is. I didn't think it was a bad call. So I don't know if you saw me. I was fighting people in the comments. I had your back. I was like, that was not a bad call. It just simply did not work out. But guess what? We're still up. We're still up 5.3 units on the parlay. So we've been winning them. So I'm going to go to you. What's kick us off? What are you looking at for the parlay today?
It's hard because we got 2 double plays and we got quite just few games to choose from here. I would never take this as a client play, but I'll take it as a parlay leg. I'll back Skeens and the Pirates on the money line for minus 220 something. Honestly, I don't. It's minus 226 maybe. Honestly, I don't think that's the proper price for this, but for a parlay leg, I think I'll put that out there because you got to back Skeens.
Brian, what's the price on that?
Seeing anywhere from 211 to 230. I would say 250. There's a lot of 215s out there. You get a 215 on Skeens.
Okay, 215. But as a professional capper, let me just make it clear, you guys, I wouldn't put that play out as a client play, but as a parlay leg, yeah, let's do it. We do these parlays for fun, you guys. You guys in the comments, man, you come after us and say, yeah, you lost the parlay. We're not. If you go look at our client plays win-loss record, you'll see no parlays in a professional bettor's record. So let's just put it that way. We're doing this for fun, guys. This is pizza money.
Yeah, I mean, we want to win them, but yeah, I see what you're saying. And the thing is, like we just talked about the game. Like, I mean, I think the Pirates are going to win today. I think this is a very good spot for them to win. So I don't hate that one bit. I think they're going to get it done. Bryan Leonard.
I don't like the price, but for a parlay, I'll do it. Yeah.
Brian, do you want to throw a game out there? Do you want to go to a different leg that we haven't talked about, or are you looking at something we have?
Yeah. First of all, we all like the Dodgers yesterday. We don't play a lot of big favorites. They lost. If you're going to make fun of us for losing a game, fine. But last year we played parlays all season long. We ended up winning money. If I'm correct, we're still up this year, winning money betting parlays.
Units still.
And if you've heard from any of us, none of us bet parlays. None of us recommend betting parlays. It's just a way for us to keep everything. It's much easier to do. They said, well, Brian's this number, and this is this number, and this is whatever. Yep. We're a combined team on these. And I had the Dodgers. I like the Dodgers. I ended up losing like a half a unit yesterday. Even having the Dodgers, I had a minus 1.5 also. So I lost 2 of my bets on the Dodgers yesterday and still basically broke even. So I'm going to go back to where I was yesterday. And I'm going to go back to the Atlanta Braves, who were my play in the parlay. It took till the last inning of the game to get the victory. Thank you, Olsen, with the 2-run homer for Atlanta. But I talked about that game. We had Detroit was about a 145 favorite. And I said that any other pitcher out there, Atlanta would be favored in. Well, here we go. Valdez, the big off-season signing for Detroit, is out there, and he's a very good pitcher, and he's a sizable underdog. You're getting Atlanta with Elder, who I'm not a big believer in Elder, but he's pitched very well this season. He's about a 125 favorite here, and you're getting Atlanta, who is knocking the hell out of the ball. Once again, they've done nothing to not be favored in this game. We took advantage of it yesterday. It worked out. It could very well have not worked out. They scored in the last inning. But Detroit's not as good as Atlanta is right now. And Elder's not as good as Valdez is, but still the batters on this Atlanta team are much better than what you're seeing out of Detroit. You're laying 125 here. Give me the Braves again. I'm going to ride them until the lines are correct, and the lines are just not correct right now. And so give me Atlanta in this game, and it will fade once again the Tigers team that's I think is a little bit overrated.
Yeah, haven't been correct all year. This team is 22-9, and what someone in the chat was like saying, well, you got to watch the games, and I agree with that. I think I probably watch more as much baseball as anyone does. I haven't watched a single second of the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs, the 17 shows I'd like to watch, because all I do is watch baseball. So and you're right. If you have watched Major League Baseball every day so far this year, the Braves they play the game better than anyone else plays it right now. Like, you could still say the Dodgers are the best team. Like, I would understand where you're coming from with that because they have the best players. They probably have the best 162 outlook. They probably have the best chance to be the best come playoff time. But if you're just like, who plays this game the best? Pitching, defense, hitting. It is the Atlanta Braves. And Brian, you're right. The market has not fully caught up to that. Why? I'm not quite sure. Tokyo Brandon, anything for you on Tigers Braves?
Yeah. I run a little query to see some flat spots and some bump spots. And man, my numbers are screaming for me to bet the Tigers today. I'm not going to do it though, but the numbers are telling me take the Tigers all day. But like Brian said, the Braves are just clobbering the ball right now. So I can't do it, but my numbers are literally getting on their knees and begging me to bet the Tigers today, but I can't do it.
There will be a time, listen, like there always is. There will be a time where it makes sense to oppose the Braves a little bit because the ebbs and flows of a 162 game season catch up to everyone at some point. But I get where you're coming from, Brian. It's tough to make a case to do it right now with how good this team is playing day in and day out and how covered they are in every facet of the game. You know, there's like no holes on this roster anywhere.
Yeah. And as we've talked many times, it all comes down to numbers. We're all looking at numbers, which puts us back on that first game for San Francisco and Philadelphia today. Now we're seeing some numbers in the 140 range. So we may get the pitching matchup we wanted yesterday at a slightly different price. We're seeing anywhere from 138 to 145 right now, but there are some a couple of them that are at under 140 right now. So it all comes down to numbers. Anybody who bets for a living will tell you we don't bet on teams, we don't bet on players, we bet on numbers. Yep. And if your number is right, it's worth a bet. If Atlanta was 150 here instead of 130, 125, I wouldn't be on them. And as TBS said, this is a tough card because with all the double headers, you don't know who's going to pitch in the game. We always try to get this game out as early as possible, this show out as early as possible. We're going with what the information we have right now. And I could definitely see where our plays we give out to clients a little bit later today will be different than what we're talking about now because we'll have more information then.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love doubleheaders because I love uncertainty, especially when 40-man roster guys are involved. I feel like that's where my biggest edge is. So for clients, you're probably going to see something in one of those doubleheader games: Phillies, Giants, Orioles, Astros. Definitely going to be a playable angle in there somewhere. For the parlay, I'm going to go out to Sacramento, and I'm going to take the A's here. They're a team that I think is streaky. When they play good, like they're a team like when they're playing well, I like to back them. When they're playing poorly, I think they're going to lose 8 in a row. That's just, I feel like that's the vibe of this team. It hasn't really been to this year. It hasn't really been like that. They've almost like literally they keep going win, loss, win, loss, win. But they're 16-14. They won 5-2 yesterday. And they have the ultimate streaky guy on the mound in Jeffrey Springs, who it's like when he is pitching good, look out. When he is on, he can cook up like a pretty serious run. And, last time out, didn't throw it great at Texas, but he still went 6 innings. 2 starts before that was really good against the Rangers. 3 starts before that was awesome against the Yankees. 7 scoreless, 6 strikeouts. You go to the start before that against the Astros, he had 7 strikeouts and 1 run over 6 innings. He's got a 1.01 whip, which is very, very good for a starting pitcher. And the 31 strikeouts this year in, it's just a little bit under a strikeout per inning. But he's not a guy that's like overly reliant on the strikeout. So I like the way he's throwing the ball. And I think I predicted the sophomore slump for Nolan Cameron correctly to this point. He's got like a 1.6 whip. His ERA is over 5. And I kind of think that's what he might be this year. So A's is going to be for me. It's going to be A's for me in the parlay. Brian, what am I looking at for a number? And jump in on this game, and then we'll go to TV to close it out.
A's are about a 123 favorite. I don't have anything on this game other than they have not hit well against lefties this year, but it's still a small sample size. I wanted to make a comment about the Colorado Cincinnati game. We're running late, but I wanted to see how the Rockies did after scoring 13 or more runs on the road. I don't think it's ever happened because they're so bad on the road normally. I think there's still value on them against Abbott. Has not been the same pitcher this year that he's been. He's been very lucky the last few years. Maybe Colorado in the first 5, but yeah, who would ever see Colorado going on the road and scoring 13 runs?
Tokyo Brandon, Noah Cameron, we both liked him last year. Yep. I was high on him when he was in AAA. I thought he was going to be good when he came up. So far this year, he has not had it at all. Expected ERA is 6.98. If you look at his Baseball Savant page, it's cold. It is cold as can be. It's all blue. And if you know anything about that website and how they grade pitchers, you don't want to see all blue. And that's what you're seeing for Cameron. So anything for you here on A's and Royals, and has your opinion on Noah Cameron changed last year to this year?
Yeah, you're right. Springs is very inconsistent, but Cameron's been awful this season. Got him ranked 23 on a curve of 30, so he's in the bottom 1/3 of pitchers. Springs is ranked 11, so he's in the upper echelon of the second 2/3 of pitchers, if that makes any sense. Kansas City's been swinging a decent bat lately, but so have the A's. But Kansas City, what are they? 3-11 on the road. Yikes. I would agree with you. I think the A's will probably take this one. I think their pitching and their bullpen can probably tame the Royals in this one. Man, the Royals, talk about inconsistent. They started the season just ice cold, and now they're suddenly hot. They're going to go back down. They're playing way over their heads, I think. So, yeah, if anything, I would take the A's in this one. I don't know if I'll actually do it, but I couldn't take the Royals in this matchup.
All right, we have reached the end of the show. Check out the website for plays from us today. We've got the double play package. Can choose any 2 handicappers, and it's going to be probably the most cost-effective way to get the plays. Our parlay today, pretty straightforward. We've got 3 sides again. We're going Pirates on the money line, Braves on the money line, A's on the money line. We'll call it Pirates minus 215, Braves minus 125, A's minus 125. That's your 3-teamer today, and the 3 of us will be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning for more total bases. We'll see you guys then. Cash all your tickets today. Good luck, and have a great Thursday.